My brothers and sisters, many of us waste our peace by chasing people who were never meant to stay, begging for what was never written for us, or explaining ourselves to those whose hearts will never understand. But Islam teaches us that true dignity lies in silence, in patience, and in trusting Allah. Allah reminds us in the Qur'an, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. 65.3. When you choose silence over arguments, when you stop chasing the dunya, when you trust Allah to defend your name and provide for your needs, you discover a strength far greater than words. Your silence is not weakness, it is power. It is saying, I do not need to lower myself for people because I have raised my trust to Allah. And with that, you rise above the noise, untouchable, with Allah as your protector. 1. The dignity of the believer. The dignity of a believer is not found in wealth, status, or the approval of people. It is found in their connection to Allah. When a Muslim holds firmly to their faith, they rise above the need to chase after anyone. Allah has honored us with Islam, and that honor cannot be taken away by rejection, nor increased by people's validation. True dignity is rooted in knowing that Allah is enough. The Qur'an reminds us, but honor belongs to Allah, His Messenger, and the believers. 63:8. This verse teaches that the believer's dignity is already established by Allah. You do not need to beg for acceptance or lower yourself to fit into the dunya. Your honor was written when you declared La ilaha illa Allah. Everything else is temporary, but this dignity is eternal. Dignity means refusing to humiliate yourself before creation. A believer never chases people for what only Allah controls. Rizq, opportunities, respect, and love all come from Him alone. When you run after people, you lower your worth, but when you raise your hands to Allah, you are lifted higher. The Prophet said, whoever seeks dignity, let him seek it through obedience to Allah. By Haki. The dignity of the believer is also found in patience. When insulted or rejected, they do not retaliate with ugliness. Their silence and composure become proof of strength, not weakness. The Qur'an praises such people. And the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth humbly. And when the ignorant address them, they say, peace. 25:63. Silence in the face of ignorance is a mark of dignity. A believer's dignity is also protected by avoiding begging. The Prophet said, it is better for one of you to take his rope and carry firewood on his back than to ask someone who may give him or may refuse. Bukhari, Muslim. This hadith teaches us that self-reliance with trust in Allah preserves honor, while constant begging erodes it. Trusting Allah frees you from dependence on people. Dignity does not mean arrogance. It is not looking down on others or refusing kindness. True dignity is humility with Allah and strength with people. It is knowing your worth without needing to boast and showing patience without needing to prove yourself. A believer's dignity is balanced, soft with mercy, firm with principles. The dignity of a believer is also tied to their character. The Prophet said, the most beloved of you to Allah are those with the best character. Bukhari. Dignity is not in appearances, but in the way you treat others. When you maintain honesty, kindness, and patience, people respect you, not because you demanded it, but because Allah placed dignity in your behavior. When others misunderstand you, dignity means not rushing to explain yourself endlessly. People's hearts are in Allah's hands. If He wishes, He will clear your name. The Prophet was slandered and mocked, yet Allah defended him. Indeed, we are sufficient for you against the mockers. 1595. A believer's dignity rests in letting Allah be their defender. Dignity is also seen in lowering your gaze and guarding your tongue. Many lose respect not because of their actions, but because of careless words. A believer knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Their dignity shines not through noise, but through discipline. This restraint shows that their self-worth is rooted in Allah, not in proving themselves to people. The believer's dignity is tested most when they face loss? Do they chase what has gone, or do they accept Allah's decree with sabr? Dignity means letting go gracefully, knowing that what left you was never written for you. Allah promises, whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace it with something better. Ahmad. Trusting this promise protects your honor. Dignity also means valuing yourself as a servant of Allah. When you realize that your forehead touches the ground only for Him in sujood, you refuse to bow your heart before people. Salah preserves dignity because it reminds you of your true position, small before Allah, but honored by Him above creation. So my brothers and sisters, protect your dignity. Do not chase what Allah has not written. Do not beg from people what only He provides. And do not explain yourself to those who mock you. Your honor is with Allah, and He will raise you when the time is right. Walk with quiet strength, for the dignity of a believer is one of their greatest treasures. Second Qur'an on patience and restraint. The Qur'an constantly reminds us that patience and restraint are not signs of weakness, but of deep strength and faith. Allah describes the people of taqwa as those who control their anger and forgive others. Those who spend in the cause of Allah in prosperity and adversity, who restrain anger and pardon people, and Allah loves the doers of good. 3:134. This shows us that true greatness lies in self-control, not in retaliation. Patience or sabr is mentioned in the Quran over 70 times. It is a quality Allah uses to describe those He loves most. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. 2:153. To know that Allah is with you when you hold back your tongue, restrain your anger, or bear hardship with dignity should give the believer peace and courage. His companionship is the reward for restraint. The Qur'an teaches us that patience is not passive waiting, but active strength. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth. 30-60. Patience means believing that Allah's plan is unfolding even when you cannot see it. It is refusing to let hardship break you and instead using it to draw closer to Allah. This makes patience a form of victory. Restraint in the Qur'an is tied to wisdom. Allah says, repel evil with what is better, and thereupon the one whom between you and him is enmity will become as though he was a devoted friend. 41:34. Choosing silence instead of harsh words, kindness instead of revenge, is not weakness but strategy. It turns enemies into friends and softens hearts in ways anger never can. Patience also guards dignity in times of trial. When others insult or provoke you, the Qur'an advises restraint. And when they hear ill speech, they turn away from it and say, for us are our deeds, and for you are your deeds. Peace will be upon you. We seek not the ignorant. 28:55. Restraint here is not cowardice. It is the dignity of refusing to lower yourself to the level of ignorance. Allah also ties patience to prayer. O you who believe, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. 2:153. Restraint does not mean you suffer in silence without support. It means you redirect your pain to Allah in prayer instead of to people in complaint. Salah becomes your shield and sabr becomes your weapon. The Quran reminds us that patience is the path to forgiveness. But if you endure patiently, indeed it is better for the patient. 16:126. Many relationships survive because one person chooses restraint over retaliation. Many hearts soften because someone chose patience instead of anger. In these acts, Allah elevates the patient and rewards them abundantly. Even in times of loss, patience is the believer's response. And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give glad tidings to the patient, who, when disaster strikes them, say, indeed we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we will return. 2:155-156. This verse shows that patience transforms tragedy into hope and despair into reward. Restraint is also connected to trust in Allah. The Quran says, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. 65.3. Patience is easier when you know Allah sees your pain, records your silence, and will compensate you. You restrain yourself because you know that Allah's justice is better than your anger. The Qur'an also reminds us that patience is not endless suffering. It has an end, and that end is beautiful. Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without measure, 39 minutes, 10 seconds. Unlike other deeds that are measured, patience is rewarded infinitely. Every moment of restraint, every held back word, every tear swallowed, all of it is counted and rewarded beyond imagination. The stories of the prophets in the Qur'an all highlight patience. Yusuf S. endured betrayal, imprisonment, and lies, yet remained patient, and Allah raised him to honor. Musa S. bore rejection and hardship, yet Allah supported him. Muhammad faced insults and loss, yet his restraint only increased his greatness. Their lives show us that sabr is the path to victory. So, my brothers and sisters, never think restraint makes you small. In the Qur'an, restraint is honor, patience is power, and silence is protection. Every time you choose sabr, you are walking the path of the prophets. And every moment of restraint is being written by angels, stored as treasure, and will one day shine for you on the day of judgment. Third, letting Allah defend you. One of the most powerful lessons in Islam is that you do not need to defend yourself against every insult, accusation, or attack. The Qur'an reminds us, indeed, Allah defends those who have believed. 22:38. Imagine that, the creator of the heavens and the earth taking responsibility for your defense. When Allah promises to protect you, no slander can harm your honor. When people speak falsely about you, your instinct is to respond, to explain, to clear your name. But often this only fuels the fire. The believer learns that silence with tawakkul is stronger than words. Allah sees the lies, He hears the whispers, and He knows the truth of your heart. Letting Him defend you is not weakness. It is surrendering to the one whose justice is perfect. The Prophet himself was the target of false accusations and mockery. They called him a magician, a poet, even a madman. Yet Allah revealed, indeed, we are sufficient for you against the mockers. 1595. His silence was not because he lacked answers, but because Allah Himself promised to respond. And history proved this promise. The Prophet's honor only grew while the insults faded. When Aisha, R.A., was falsely accused in the incident of the slander, the Prophet did not rush to defend her with arguments. Instead, he placed his trust in Allah. Eventually, Allah revealed verses from Surah An-Nur 24:11-20, clearing her name. This story shows us that